Welcome back, guys, to Neo Racing. We are at the final round of the Project Cars 2 Championship. We are at Sugo. It's a night race in the Renault RS01. Neil's on pole from Bidster and we're off into the first corner. So hope everyone gets through clean. Looks to be through there okay there. Coming through the second part. As we go into the second part. Oh, Neil's gone. Neil's gone round. Neil's gone round in the background as we look, everyone else coming through. I don't know why, but the game has not put the headlights on some of the cars, so but I can tell you they were actually on the day, so don't worry, people are not driving blind on purpose. As Neil recovers there at the back, there he is. As we've got Bidster now in the lead from Jamo, putting the pressure on behind him in Team Yellow. Coming down the straight. Everyone got through that first bit cleanly, so this race is nice and dry, no rain yet. As we go into the corner at the bottom of the hill, Bidster and Jamo both running a little bit wide there, but no problem there as Flying Flapper defending from Jay Hewson side by side into the two fast lefts, and Flapper keeps the position. Jay Hewson goes the other way to try and have another look as they come around this long last corner at Sugo. Out of that last corner, it's a shame that they couldn't get the headlights to come on this game on the replays, but I can tell you obviously they were on. As we come down the straight now, Jay Houston alongside Flying Flapper now. People braving different tyre compounds. Neil, contact, seat one, straight into both cars. Seat one straight on, taking both cars with him, and then another little tap to Flapper. That was Lil doing a little tap to Flapper there. Seat one just rejoining the road there, so we'll get a replay on that. Here's a replay at the start of lap 2 on board with Seat 1. So this is the instant where Seat went catapulting into the first corner. See the others on the brakes, and Seat's only just on the brakes now, realises it's too late, tries to avoid, but then no, runs into Jay Hewson and takes out another car on his left as well. So a really bad misjudgment there by Seat 1, and everyone rejoins. As everyone folds in to the chicane. We'll be very careful of the curbs there. So we've got... Here's a replay on the second lap on board with Flying Flapper just after that instant with Seek, and then we go around this corner here. See Blakeney go up the inside of Lil Yam there, then up to the chicane. Lil Yam just goes bang! Straight across, doesn't even see Blakeney's up the inside, and just takes himself off there. So we've got Bidster in the lead, who's on soft tyres. We've got Jamo behind him, also on soft tyres. TY in third is on hard tyres. I can tell you that TY is on hards, Neil's on hards, and Flying Flapper is on hards. Everyone else, I think, has gone for the softer option. And Bidster's outbraked himself. Bidster's outbraked himself, gone wide, straight on at the end of the straight. So unlucky there for Bidster. As we look back at Lil Yam, I think he's having a little battle with Seek. I don't know why the camera's suddenly zoomed in that far, but there we are. We've got Jay Hewson off. Jay Hewson's had a... Is that Jay Hewson? No, it's not Jay Hewson. Who that went off there? I think it were... Oh, it was Flying Flapper. Flying Flapper went off there. So we'll get a replay on what happened to Flapper there. There's a replay of what happened to Flying Flapper on lap 2 at the end of the straight. Goes round, and then look, the back end just goes for him in the hard tyres. Still not warmed in yet. And just rejoins the track. As everyone piles through the last corner, and out the other side we've got Neil and Keith close on each other now. Neil and Flying Flapper really struggling to get those hard tyres working. TY seems to have found a trick, but doesn't look like Neil and Flying Flapper having any luck as Flying Flapper dives down the inside of Keith in the background. Fantastic move up the inside, light on the brakes, gave Keith no choice but to give the position, and goes through. Lil Yam having a little look at Keith as well in the background, so we'll stay with this little scrap here. So sorry again for the cars not having the lights on, but I can tell you they did. Just I don't know what's up with Project Cars 2 replays at the minute, but they are absolutely shocking. But we'll try and give you the best replays that we can. I'll try and give you the best commentary that I can as well as we go into the corner at the top. Flying Flapper, no way through there. Lil Yam having a little look on Keith as well. Lil Yam behind, and a little up the inside of Keith, and does it. Lil Yam up the inside of Keith, so Lil Yam up to 9th place. Flying Flapper and Neil now close together as they come out of that corner. Coming down the back straight. Flying Flapper is going to move ahead now of Neil. Going to get him into the braking zone. So again, good recovery there from Flapper. Starting to eventually get the hang of those hard tyres. It just makes the car very unstable at the back end because they don't come up to temperature straight away. But hopefully by about lap 4 or 5 they'll be up to temperature and they'll be able to go. The soft runners at the front, so Jamo and Bidster, they've got to be careful not to let the tyres overheat because the front left will overheat because of the constant radius corners on this Sugo track. It is a lovely track, Sugo. So look, Blayton in the background. Blayton's lights are working and Bidster's lights are working, and I think you just see Jamo's gone off. You just see the car there in the dark. Jamo's gone off, so we'll get a replay on what happened to Jamo there. Here's a replay of what happened to Jamo on lap 4 for him to lose the lead of the race. Comes around this left-hander, hits the curb, and then just loses the back end. Bang, hits the wall, and then has to reverse back out and rejoin the track. And look how much time he's losing. Then eventually gets the car going, rejoins the track, and rejoins lower down the field. So unlucky for Jamo. As we come back from that replay, Bidster in the lead. So Bidster's took the lead back now, so he's very lucky that Jamo made a mistake there because I think Jamo would have held on the current pace. But he's got to keep out for that man behind, that blue car behind. T.Y, he's closing up. And Jay Houston as well closing up behind him. There he is in the orange and black Team Orange car. Rocking the play seat livery, but obviously Bidster in a white version there, and then Jay Houston there in a black version with the orange section on the car. Looks like Neil and Keith are having a good battle for 9th place. So Neil not really getting those tyres to work at all. Keith having a little look up the inside, but nothing going to work there. Or has Neil outbraked himself? Nope. Neil gets through the corner safely, so no places gained there. There's only 10 people on tonight because we've got a few absentees. Neil Stig unable to make tonight, unfortunately, and so are ZR Blade and Danny Quaver. So we've got 3 absentees. So 10 racing, would have had 13, but unlucky for those that haven't been able to turn up. And also Stevie as well. Stevie was missing as well, which makes 14. So, yep, 14 cars we usually have and 4 absentees. So 10 racing tonight. Still hopefully get some good racing in. Bidster's in the lead from TY there, with Jay Houston slowly closing up. So Jay Houston having a much better weekend this time in the team for Team Orange. Usually back down in 5th or 6th place, but he's doing very well to keep up the current pace. Some cars and track combinations suit different people, some don't, and this is obviously one of the ones that suits Jay Houston quite well because he's closing up on TY now. Again, taking the softer option tyre, so obviously it'll be working as we look back at Seek 1 there in 5th place. There he is, there's Seek 1. I don't know why the camera zooms in all that way, but oh well. As we, I think also Neil has just pulled a little bit of a gap on Keith now, so Keith doing well to stay with him. So Neil finally just about getting the hang of those harder tyres. There's Flying Flapper, his next target's blatantly just ahead of him. So Flying Flapper going around the track there very well indeed. There's Blatany coming through the long right-hander. His headlights are working on our replays. So don't know what's up with Project Cars 2 replays at the minute, but hopefully Slightly Mad Studios can bring up an update. It would really be appreciated if you could get it working. Why Gran Turismo Sports replays can work and Project Cars 2 can't, I don't know, but hopefully they'll sort something out. But as it comes at the minute, Project Cars 2 replays are not as good as the GT Sport ones, but we'll keep on trying for all you guys out there that are watching us at the minute on Neo Racing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, smash that like button. I want to try and get the videos out there and get more popular with the group and that, more people the merrier. Trying to get some recruitment out there. So also I should mention as well in this championship that Neil Farmack here, back here in 9th place, not having a good race. Neil, he can win this championship if he finishes higher than 6th in this race. So Neil needs to get up and higher than 6th place to win the championship in this race. If not, he needs a decent finish in the next race. Bidster's doing all he can out in front. He's in first. He's got a decent lead from TY, even though TY is closing in slowly, so we'll have to keep an eye on that gap. But also Jay Houston keeping a consistent pace, but looks like TY's found some mid-race pace to actually try and close up to Bidster, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. As we've got Blakeney being caught now by Flying Flapper. You can see visually the gap coming down, so Flying Flapper on the move. Just under a second the gap now, probably not even that. As we look at Flying Flapper closing on Blakeney. Team Red going solo. Jamo solo for Team Yellow as well, with Stevie absent. So into the complex section, up to the very, very tight chicane. One mistake and you've had it, but they all go through there cleanly. Blakeney, not about making mistakes. Blakeney makes a mistake out of there, and Flying Flapper gets the momentum and drives around the outside of him. So good move there from Flying Flapper. Blakeney just a bit too much on the curb, I think, probably, or just lost the back end on acceleration, because this RSO1 Renault is very, very twitchy at the back end. So Flying Flapper goes through there. Blakeney just flashing the lights at him, just trying to put him off his game as he tries to outbrake him on the inside, but to no avail. Flying Flapper through, so on lap 7 out of 15, as you can see at the top of the screen. Let's see if we've got anyone else close on track. Lil Yam's fallen into the hands of Neil Farmack now. Neil Farmack finally getting the hang of those hard tyres, by the look of it. There's Blakeney and Flapper go through shot there, so there's Lil Yam followed by Neil. So Neil under just about a second, or just under a second behind Lil Yam now. So we'll see how that gap closes up. Meanwhile, Bids is still in the lead from TY. TY is trying to catch up. He's trying to keep the pace, put the pressure on. Oh, a little bit on the grass there, so he's really, really trying to abuse them curbs. He's got to be careful though, not to get caught out too much as he goes out of the that corner onto the straight and then down the back straight, building up the speed to about 150 mile an hour. Then on the brakes into this banked corner. I do like how at Sugo we have a lot of banked corners in it as well, so it encourages corner speed as we go through the little stadium section here, and we go out of the little bit of a twitch from TY there as we watch him go around. And then Flying Flapper there ahead of Blakeney, pulling a gap on him. Lil Yam and Neil still close together. Lil Yam takes to the grass and he goes into the wall. Boom, bang into the wall. Unlucky there for Lil Yam. There he is recovering, so just too wide out the corner, and along the grass he kept the power on, and the rear end just went round on him. So Neil gains 1 place. 2 more places for Neil now to cement that championship, and so it doesn't have to go to the final round. But even if he did go to the final round, I think even if he just had a consistent finish, he'd get it. So, because I don't think Neil would want 2 races where he finishes down that far down the pack. So he's catching up Blakeney now quite quick. I think Blakeney made a little error through that corner there, so Blakeney getting caught hand over fist now by Neil. That's 1 place more towards the championship if he can get past. So we'll keep with this for now. Blakeney on the defence now from Neil as we go into the first section of track, lap 9 out of 15. As Blakeney defends the inside, not making it easy for Neil at all, because he's running his own race. He wants points for Team White in the team's championship. As we go up the hill now. Oh, Neil just had a little bit of a moment there as he's still behind Blakeney now. Not many. I think Jay Houston and Jamo are quite close together as well. So Jamo's closed up to the back of Jay Houston as well. So we'll have a little look at that in a moment. But we'll just stick with this for now as Blakeney defends from Neil Farmack there. And nothing, I don't think much is going to happen here unless Blakeney runs wide out of this corner, which he doesn't. So let's have a look here as Jay Houston being caught by Jamo. You can just see in the darkness, because unfortunately the lights aren't working on the cars on the replays, but I can tell you that they have actually got the lights on. And I've probably said that about 3 or 4 times already, but I just want to make sure that people know it's not us being daft, it's the game that they need to sort it out as we go through up the hill. Up the hill we go. You can see that little flash of light there. That was just Jamo flashing his lights, even though the game isn't putting the actual lights on. Flashed his lights at Jay Houston, just trying to put him off his stride, just trying to make him check his mirrors. Meanwhile, TY under a second behind Bidster now for the lead. So here we are when the camera resets itself. Then just wait on it. There we go. Typical Project Cars 2 replay cameras as we're getting used to now. TY closing up to the back of Bidster now, so Bidster's going to be on on the move, but his soft tyres might be fading at this stage, and TY's will be coming back to him, as we've seen with Neil catching up. And he's past Blakeney now, so Neil up to 7th place. And Jamo's fallen off Jay Hewson there, so Jamo must have made an error somewhere, so Jamo's fallen off Jay Hewson. As we will on to the start of lap 11, Bidster under pressure from TY. Let's just keep an eye on this now. Focus on TY's car through this stadium section. Still closing up. Bidster not giving. Oh, runs a bit wide there, but they just get away with it. Through the chicane. Out of the chicane, everyone. Everything okay so far? As we go down the hill, let's have a little look back at some other stuff going on. Let's have a look at Neil Farmack, who was on a charge now to try and catch this man flying flat. When the camera decides to wake up, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, flying flapper coming out of the chicane. You can see Neil coming up to the chicane in the background, as we'll see in a minute. There he is, coming through the same bit, so he's on the move trying to catch Flapper now. So the two guys with the hard tyres have finally sort of switched on the pace, but I think it might be a bit late. As TY now closes up to the back of Bidster. I don't think those soft tyres doing Bidster any favours at this stage of the race. So TY's closing up now. Will he go for a move into the first corner, or is he not going to outbrake him? No, he's going to stay behind now. For now, he's not close enough yet to make a move. So he's just got to stay behind Bidster, just keep that pressure on, see if he makes a mistake. Oh, TY using a lot of curb there as we go through into the stadium section. And round up this uphill left-hander, very hard to get the traction out of here. Then they got even more hard to find the traction over those curbs, as you see Bidster hopping the curbs as Bidster does. TY very smooth through there. As we go into the top two right-hand corners, and then this corner tightens up on itself a bit more, and very easy to go wide at this corner, and then going down the back straight. So Bidster still ahead. We'll keep with this battle for now, because there's not much else happening on track at the minute, so we'll keep with this battle as they go through the last, third to last corner and the second to last, and the actual last corner, the really long banked right-hander. This is where Bidster's tyres will be screaming, front left tyre will be screaming for life, because he's on them that softer compound. He'll get good initial turning, but then as he goes through the corner, as the radius continues, the front left tyre will be crying out for its life, but TY's will be fine. TY's will say, yep, I can deal with that, just throw it at me. Let's have a little look further back. We've got Blakeney being caught by Lil Yam a bit further back, and then we've got in the middle Seek 1 and Flying Flapper close together as well, so that's one to keep an eye on also. But we'll just go back to this leading bunch. We go through the first section, and no closer yet, so not close but no cigar, as we look at Flying Flapper now, right behind Seat 1, looking for that extra place. Neil Farmack a bit further back from this, so he might not get the position he requires at this rate, but Flying Flapper has a little look out, and he's on the brakes. He's going for it up the inside of Seat 1. And is he going to... No, he just can't hold on. Seek 1 holds the outside line and does very well to hold on to that. So Seek 1 holding on to the position for now. Good racing there with Flying Flapper. He went up the inside, but Seek gave him the room, but just kept the momentum round the outside, and that's all he needed to do. As we nose to tail now through the chicane. Team Grey versus Team Red. As we go through the top two corners, and TY's dropped off from Bidster, so TY's made a little error somewhere. He's dropped right off from Bidster, so that's what's happened up front. As we watch now, Flying Flapper again trying to attack Seek. As we come down the end of the straight, is he going to have a little sniff? No, he's not. Just going to stay behind, going around that long radius corner. Well, slightly long radius corner, and they're coming through these two little kinks here, two fast left kinks. Oh, Seat 1 goes on the gravel, he's made a mistake, he's lost it. Seat 1's gone on the grass, and Flying Flapper says, thank you muchly, I'm through. So Flying Flapper takes advantage of a mistake there from Seat 1, so Flying Flapper up to 5th place, Seat 1 down to 6th. Neil Farmack, look who it is. He's coming around that long radius left-hander. So he's on the move trying to catch him, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time left to actually do it. As it's a battle for 9th place as well. Lillian's gone backwards through the field. Keith's up to 9th now, so Keith isn't 10th anymore. So that's one to keep an eye on as well. As they're both catching Blakeney as well, so I wonder if Blakeney's got a problem. Will he actually make it easy for his teammate or not? We'll have to see, because they are fighting for position in the actual Drivers' Championship as well as battling for the teams. As Lillian, oh, so close to taking out Keith there, outbraked himself. But very lucky to get away with that, as Keith makes a little error out that corner himself. So unlucky there for Keith. So you see Flying Flapper there pulling away from Seek in 5th place. So that looks like it's going to be cemented, as Bidster there in 1st place, followed by TY. Still 1.7 seconds between them, but it's closing down now. TY's picking up the pace again, as Jay Hewson there in 3rd place, Jamo 4th, Flying Flapper 5th, Seek 1 in 6th place, Neil in 7th, not too far behind. Blakeney now in 8th place, and Keith and Lil, when the camera pans down to him eventually, there we go. Keith defending from Lillian, who has a little look round the outside. Surely not going to go right round the outside. Is he going to? He's going to try. And then he's got the inside into this left-hander. Will there be contact? Oh, he sensibly backs off there. So Keith did well just to keep the line there. Oh, there's a little bit of a squirm at the corner. Oh, TY's gone really back. He's fallen into the hands of Jay Hewson. So we'll get a replay on that. Here's a replay of what happened to TY in the last lap of the race. You'll see he clips this curb on the right hand side, and the back end just goes round, and he can't do anything about it. It's the back end loses balance, and then by the time he's recovered, Jay Hewson is right behind him. So as we go back to the action, TY there is now, because of that mistake he made, has now got Jay Hewson all over the back of him. So that was unlucky for TY, and on the last lap as well, so very unlucky there as we're on the last lap. So here comes Bidster round the final corner. Done well in this race. He got kind of lucky. Well, he made a mistake and Jamo got through, and Jamo gave it back, so because he did the same mistake as what Bidster did. So Bidster comes through to win race 1 at Sugo, and the final round of the championship. Does everything he can to keep his championship hopes alive. TY 2nd, Jay Hewson 3rd, Jamo 4th, Flying Flapper in 5th. But now Seek 1's made a mistake. Neil's through to 6th. If Neil can keep 6th place, he's going to win the championship. So Flying Flapper comes through the last corner in 5th place. Neil is now up to 6th because Seek 1's had a mistake somewhere. So Neil up to 6th place. If he keeps this place here and Seek 1 can't get past, he's going to be champion. Let's see how close it's going to be. Seek 1 having a look left, right. Clearly got fresher tyres, but it looks like it's going to be to no avail unless you can get in the draft up the hill. It's going to be close, but I think Neil Farmack's just going to hold on. And Neil Farmack is our GT3 champion. Congratulations, Neil. Well done. Fantastic driving all season. Good consistent driving. Seek 1 in 7th place. Keith. Oh, Keith and Blakeney. There, I think, yeah, Blakeney just got 8th from Keith. That was very close on the line, and Lillian will be 10th. So we'll get a replay on that finish on the line. But there's Bidster, your winner. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.